Have you ever believed that power must announce itself with thunderous force, booming declarations, grandstanding gestures, or the sharp edge of authority that cuts through every room? In our world, it can feel as though the loudest voice always wins, and those who whisper in the corner go unheard, their gentle strengths dismissed as weakness. Yet, just beyond our city streets and crowded meeting rooms, nature offers a different narrative, one of creatures whose quiet confidence speaks volumes without ever needing to shout. They move with grace, stand with poise, and carry themselves with an inner steadiness that commands respect, not through volume, but through presence. Today, we step into their world to discover what it means to embody power without roar. We'll follow the deer as it navigates the forest's edge with alert composure, meet the peaceful manatee drifting through gentle waters with steadfast resilience, and gaze up at the towering giraffe, whose slow, deliberate strides and lofty gaze teach us the art of standing tall. In their calm, we find the blueprint for a strength that transforms our lives from the inside out. Deer, the grace of silent vigilance. Imagine walking at dawn through a misty woodland clearing, the air alive with the scent of damp earth and the distant call of birds. Your footsteps barely whisper on the soft carpet of fallen leaves, and for a moment, you feel entirely alone. Then, at the periphery of your vision, a deer appears, its head raised, ears twitching, eyes wide with awareness. It does not flee immediately, nor does it charge. Instead, it stands in patient stillness, its muscles poised to move, its senses stretched to every rustle and every shifting shadow. For the deer, quiet vigilance is survival. It knows that danger often approaches in silence, and so it learns to listen before it leaps, to observe before it runs. In that poised moment, it holds a power far greater than any roar, the power of presence. How often do we respond to life's surprises with panic or hurried action, racing ahead of our own senses, leaping before we fully understand the ground beneath us? The deer teaches us that true confidence arises when we slow down enough to tune in, when we pause at the edge of uncertainty, taking the time to assess our surroundings, to sense the undercurrents of a conversation, or to recognize the subtle signals of change. We empower ourselves to choose our next step with wisdom rather than instinctive alarm. Consider your own world. The last time you felt thrown by unexpected news or a sudden challenge. Did you act from a place of reflex, or did you find a moment's stillness to gather your thoughts, to feel into your own resilience before you moved? The deer reminds us that strength and grace arise from silent vigilance and from the willingness to stand fully present, trusting our senses and our inner poise. Manatees, gentle giants of steadfast presence. Now imagine drifting on the turquoise waters of a slow-moving river, the sunlight dancing across the surface like liquid gold. Beneath the waves moves a creature of almost otherworldly calm, the manatee, often called the sea cow, gliding effortlessly through seagrass beds, its enormous body a study in gentle power. There is no hurry in its movements, only a steady, unshakable presence, as though every moment is sufficient unto itself. Manatees embody peaceful resilience. They face occasional dangers, boat propellers, habitat loss, sudden storms, yet they do not panic. Instead, they surface for air, swim to safety, and return to their slow, purposeful feeding. Their hearts beat steadily, unhurried, reminding us that true endurance does not spring from frenetic energy, but from resting in the flow of the present while carrying a deep, patient strength within. In our own lives, we fill our days with frantic motion, back-to-back meetings, endless multitasking, the pressure to keep pace with everyone and everything. We burn bright, but risk burning out. The manatee's lesson is clear. Life's currents shift, but we need not drain ourselves by swimming against every wave. We can cultivate steadfast presence by slowing our rhythm, by prioritizing rest and reflection as non-negotiable parts of each day, and by trusting that our gentle persistence will carry us through challenges without the need for force. Next time you feel your energy sag under the demands of a hectic schedule, visualize the manatee's serene glide. Give yourself permission to move at your own pace, savoring each breath, each moment of calm, and discover how sustainable strength arises when we honor our natural rhythm. Giraffes, standing tall in quiet confidence. Finally, lift your gaze to the savannah's golden horizon. where the silhouettes of giraffes sway like living sculptures against an endless sky. Their long necks stretch upward, their heads held high, surveying the land with a regal calm. When they walk, each step is measured. No rush, no scuffle, just a gentle stride that carries a presence impossible to ignore. Giraffes possess towering tranquility. In a world where predators might lurk beneath each acacia tree, they rely not on speed but on height, on perspective, on the assurance that they can see what lies ahead before others even know to look. Their hearts, capable of pumping blood up those long necks, are metaphors for resilience, the ability to stand tall, to maintain perspective, and to move forward with dignity, regardless of the shadows beneath. We too can learn from the giraffe's calm assurance. Rather than towering physically, we rise in spirit by cultivating perspective, by stepping back from the fray to see the bigger picture, by nourishing the confidence that comes from knowing where we stand, and by trusting that, from our vantage point, we can navigate challenges with composure. When we hold our own heads high, we inspire respect and create the space to make decisions that honor both our growth and our well-being. Consider the moments when you felt flattened by circumstance, when the pressures around you seemed too close to bear. Remember the giraffe's gentle command of its world and ask, how might I stand taller in my own life, trusting that my perspective and my poise are in themselves powerful? As we draw together the deer's poised awareness, the manatee's peaceful resilience, and the giraffe's towering perspective, a single truth emerges. Power is not the province of noise, but the domain of presence. These gentle teachers reveal that true strength unfolds not in the volume of our voices or the force of our actions, but in the depth of our calm, the steadiness of our stride, and the clarity of our perspective. They show us that to lead, to endure, and to rise above life's challenges, we need not roar. We need only to embody quiet confidence. Pause now and feel your own presence in this moment, your shoulders releasing their tension, your breath settling into a natural rhythm. Recall a time when you believed you had to raise your voice or force your way to be heard. Ask yourself, where might I benefit from the deer's silent vigilance, listening more deeply before I speak or act? In what areas could I honor the manatee's peaceful resilience, slowing my pace, giving myself permission to rest, trusting that calm persistence will carry me forward? And how might I cultivate the giraffe's towering perspective, pausing to see the larger landscape of my life, standing tall in my unique vantage point, and moving with unwavering dignity? Allow these reflections to settle in your heart, softening any inclination to roar in favor of an inner strength that speaks through stillness, gentle presence, and confident poise. In a world that too often equates power with volume, the deer, the manatee, and the giraffe stand as living testaments to a different kind of strength, one that whispers rather than shouts, that endures rather than exhausts, that reaches upward rather than charging ahead. By walking in their footsteps, embodying poised awareness, peaceful resilience, and towering perspective, we discover that quiet confidence can indeed be life-changing. We learn to lead not through domination, but through presence, to endure not through force, but through calm persistence, and to rise not through competition, but through unwavering dignity. So the next time you feel the urge to roar, whether in conversation, in conflict, or in pursuit of your goals, remember these gentle teachers. Breathe deeply, ground yourself in awareness, honor your pace, and lift your gaze. In that gentle stillness, you will find the truest expression of power, carried in the quiet confidence of your own heart. And these teachers are still here, patiently guiding us toward a strength that whispers rather than roars if we only choose to listen.